Welcome everyone to today's live streaming lecture style Dharma talk by Yuichi. I'm so happy that we are all here together to learn about the Dharma. Dharma is the unchanging universal truth that has the power to liberate us from our struggles. So let's learn in detail how we can do that through the talk by Yuichi. Thank you, Yuichi, for preparing for us today.
Okay, thank you. So last week we held Karma Lab, Purpose-Driven Lab, and the Happiness Lab. And I am gonna give a brief review of these three labs. First, Karma Lab. Buddha taught human beings have three karma. Yeah, this is well-known teaching, three karmas, but not so well-known. Three karmas are karma of the body, karma of the speech, karma of the mind. And every day we are making a lot of karma. We did three aspects. And among these three karmas, what do you think? Which do you think is the most important? Karma of the body. Yeah, this is how our common sense tells us. But Buddha's answer is different. Karma of the mind is the most important. Let me share with you my slide. So as the illustration shows, the mind is the source, the origin, upper stream of the river. And what we think will come from our lips and turns to our physical action. So we don't speak what we didn't think about, and we don't do what we didn't intend to do. So mind is the parent and the mouth, the body are children. So let me share one quote from one of our textbooks. You are born for a reason. Okay, Bita, could you read this slide?
Okay, sure. From the book You Were Born for a Reason. The preamble to UNESCO's constitution states that since wars begin in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be constructed. The statement acknowledges that the atrocity of war is rooted squarely in the human mind. Buddhism always places priority on the workings of the mind or heart, just as firefighters focus on the origin of a fire.
Thank you. So yeah, this part is very deep, so we have to come back again and again. But I wanted to understand the importance of the mind, karma of the mind. And the UNESCO's preamble was explaining about how wars start. Actually, today in today's world, there are more than 190 countries on this earth, but wars and battles are happening in more than 45 countries. I think, yeah, it was based on the statistics. If 2 or 3 countries are neighboring with each other, there's always a territorial issue. I'm from Japan. My home country, Japan, also has such issue with its neighboring country. So it's very universal. What's the origin of such atrocity? Wars are so horrible, but what starts such horrible event? It's the mind, the human mind. If it's a territorial issue, our nature of being territorial is the cause. The other day I was in the park early evening, I was enjoying playing frisbee. So I'm gonna share with you my own experience when I became a little bit territorial. Usually I'm a very calm person. I don't think I'm such territorial. I'm very much yielding. I always yield, try to yield. But this time it was a little different. When I was playing frisbee with another person, a bunch of young men came and started playing baseball. And one of the team members came to us and told us to move away. At that moment, I became territorial. And of course, I didn't have any quarrel or any argument. I just left the place. But in my mind, I realized part of my nature is very territorial. I thought this is my place, I thought this idea came to my mind, and part of me told me, oh, you don't need to yield. This is your place. So I don't think this is only me. I think this is really common with all people. And one more example from animal world. I see a lot of hummingbirds in our neighborhood. They are very cute. They are very sweet, and they're like little puppies. I like those hummingbirds. But surprising fact is they are also very territorial. And they always have fights with other hummingbirds. And mostly it's about food or territory, and they say breeding rights. Over this issue, they fight with each other. And what is terrible about hummingbird is they are hardwired to fight until death. Each one of them is killed. They use their bills like sword and skewer their opponents. That's really aggressive, but that's part of nature of living beings. So, yeah, in Buddhism, we are encouraged to pay attention to the working of mind and prevent bad karma to come out from our lips and the body. Instead, we are encouraged to purify our mind and practice good deeds with our speech and physical action. Okay, then let's read one more slide from the same book. Okay, could you read it, Bita?
Okay, sure. Once when the Russian writer Ivan Turgenev, 1818 to 1883, was penniless, a beggar came to his gates. Mortified that he had nothing to give, Turgenev ran out of the front door, grasped the man's hand in his, and called him brother with tears in his eyes. Later, the beggar confessed that never in his life did he receive any gift so precious.
Thank you. When I first read this anecdote, I didn't understand it very well. What's the message? But as I read it again and again, then I understood it. Turgenev was penniless, so he didn't have anything to give to the beggar. But he wanted to give something. Yeah. So in this case, it's kind of an apology, I think. I don't have anything to give to you. I'm very sorry. I think that was the Turgenev's mind. All he said was brother with tears in his eyes. So he really meant it. It was not a gesture. So usually beggar will be happy when he receives money, food, or a blanket. This time he didn't receive anything material. All he received was one word. But through this word, he received something so precious, as more precious than anything else.
Here it is.
That was his Turgenev's pure heart. In Buddhist world, there is a saying, that goes like this. Better the pauper's single candle than the rich man's 10,000 candles. Once, when Buddha was alive, he was always giving a lecture, sometimes in the evening. Many Buddhist students and audience offered candles. It was their donation. And one time, a beggar, female beggar, wanted to offer donation, a candle, but he didn't have any money. But his desire was so strong, so she spent many days to collect money in order to buy a candle or oil for a candle. One day, and then after many days, she finally was able to buy a candle and offered it to the Buddha. And then Buddha later came to realize this and said this. His act of giving is much more precious and greater than the rich man's 10,000 candles, because she didn't expect anything, any return from the Buddha. Of course, nothing. Her desire was showing her gratitude and wanted to help the Dharma, the teaching of Buddha, spread among more people, so that more and more people will understand true happiness and achieve it. That was the beggar's true intention. He wanted to share true happiness with as many people as possible. So that's why there was no poison in this act of giving. And he was so sincere. That's why he said this. Of course, if we can afford it, it's better than offering just one candle. It's better to offer 10,000 candles than only one single candle. The point is, our mind or intention is the most important. And lastly, let's read one more paragraph from the book. Okay, Bita, could you read it again?
Okay. Even though people's inmost thoughts may be unwholesome, there is no prosecution or censure merely for thinking them. That is only natural, since all we can know of a person's thoughts are the sparks they set off in word or deed. There being no way to control the workings of another person's mind, thoughts are left to run rampant.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the contrast between the common sense and the teaching of Buddha. Yeah, we know that our the working of our mind is unknown to anybody. Nobody can tell what we are thinking, and nobody will be influenced or affected by our thought directly. That's why we have freedom to think whatever we want to think. And that's what is described as thoughts are left to run rampant. So in a sense, it's good, but in another sense, it's bad, because we are free to create any kind of bad thoughts. And this is a problem. Yeah. People emphasize the freedom of thought. It's okay to conceive any kind of thought. But on our spiritual journey, we need to purify our thought and try to eliminate bad thought. This is how we can purify our speech and the physical action. We have to start from our mind. And actually, this is, in a sense, easy, but in a sense, it's very difficult, because sometimes our own mind is not under our control. But at the same time, we can practice this anytime, anywhere. Even though we are bedridden, we can practice good deed in our mind. And that's already really a good deed. So we have 3 karmas, and we are encouraged to practice good deed and refrain from doing bad deeds, especially in our thought. So we have to come back to this topic again and again, but this is what I shared in last week's Karma Lab. So let me move on to purpose-driven lab. Okay. So recently, I borrowed a kitten from my sister-in-law, and I'm spending a lot of time with the kitten, because most of the time I work from home, and the kitten is always around my desk. And then, yeah, I have a lot of chance to observe its behavior. And then the other day I was working hard as usual, and then all the time what the kitten was doing was eating, sleeping, and playing. Kitten can play with very interesting stuff. Our kitten is very eager to play with a hairband. When he has a hairband, he can play it for maybe more than 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So I was watching the kitten, and then I had to ask a question to him. What's the purpose of your life? So this is the topic of this lab, purpose-driven lab. Having purpose is very important. When our purpose is clear, we can work hard. We can study hard. On the other hand, when the purpose and goal is not clear, we tend to slack off. So that's why I think many people understand the importance of having clear-cut purpose. And in Buddhism, among many different purposes in life, Buddha focused on the real purpose of life, why we were born, and why are we living day to day, and why is it wrong to take our own lives even if life becomes very painful. So this is what it means by the real purpose of life. Once we understand this, we can overcome any obstacles in life, because we need to survive and keep on living until we achieve this important task or endeavor. This is our real work. We have our job and part-time job. They are important to sustain our lives, to support our family. But Buddha said there is more important work. And he called that mission. Yeah. We have very noble mission, which we have to accomplish while we are here. So as we continue listening to the Dharma, little by little, this teaching will sink in. Now it sounds a little vague, but I think you understand the importance. Actually, many people Google this question on the internet. They use the words, what's the meaning of life? Or what's the purpose of life? But there is no clear answer. Somebody told me this is one of the top questions people ask on the internet. Yeah, sometimes many people have a smart speaker. We can ask any question. What's the weather today? Hi Siri, hi Alexa. We ask many questions. But this question, what's the purpose of life? Internet cannot offer a clear answer. So, I asked this question to the kitten. Of course, it was my monologue. Kitten doesn't answer because I thought his life seemed meaningless to human eyes. Eating and sleeping and playing, repeating day after day. So I kind of took pity on him. But when I reflect upon my mind, I realized I have a different thought in a different circumstance. Sometimes, not only me, but many people envy cat's life because their life is so carefree. They don't have any worries or anxiety. They don't have problems. They don't have debts. They don't have workplace issue. They don't have strict boss. They do what they want to do. They just follow their animal instinct. What a nice life. That's why there's such songs or story, the title of which is, I want to be a cat. So this is universal wish, I think. So we have two different minds. Sometimes I take pity on such an animal. Sometimes we envy that animal. So, but the truth is, if we don't understand the real purpose of life, we cannot have meaningful life. And as a result, many people might have deep regret at the end. It's possible to lead a life of carefree and easygoing type of life. It's possible, but that doesn't guarantee a deep satisfaction and true peace of mind. The French writer Albert Camus once wrote in his novel, what was it, Bita? Do you remember?
Well, like deep in a person's heart lies a very strong longing to find out the meaning of his or her life.
Yes, deep down in human mind, there's a strong passion to know the meaning of life, the purpose of life. And so in short, yeah, Buddha's answer, let me share with you Buddha's answer. I have to explain a lot about this concept, but Buddha's answer is, in one word, it's true happiness or enlightenment, spiritual awakening. Our mind will go through a complete transformation. I think spiritual people understand happiness lies within, not external circumstances. True happiness lies within us. Yeah, and we have to experience that transformation. Even before we experience such true happiness, this principle applies to us in all the aspects of our spiritual journey. Change, we have to have change in ourselves. So let me share with you a Buddhist joke. One day, a Buddhist monk opened a veggie burger shop, and he had a first customer. And the customer bought one veggie burger, paying with a $20 bill. And then the Buddhist monk handed him the veggie burger, and the customer was waiting and waiting for the change. And then after a while, the customer had to say, "Oh, where's my change?" And the Buddhist monk replied, "Change must come from within." And this is Buddhist principle. Yeah, change must come from within. We don't try to change other people to suit our conveniences. Instead, we change ourselves. This is Buddhist principle. And then try to adjust to other people. It's one form of giving. It's good. It's very good deed. Yeah, and also by changing our mind, yeah, even suffering will change to joy. You know, suffering starts with our mind. This is going to be Happiness Lab's topic. So yeah, I will come back to this a little later. Yeah, at the end, we will experience a great transformation. It's not just a small change. It's just not just a small epiphany. It's a spiritual awakening. We are like sleeping. In Buddha's view, we are sleeping. We are dreaming. We think this is reality, but actually, this might be a dream. This is what Buddha said. The nature of dream is very ephemeral and transient and short-lived. And once it's gone, it's gone. And again, this topic comes back in the next Happiness Lab also. So we need, in order to experience true happiness, we need to wake up. So our eyes are closed now, but our eyes will open. And then we will see the world for the first time. That's going to be a great surprise and great transformation. You can imagine the experience of Helen Keller. She kind of experienced similar transformation, but spiritual awakening is much greater than that. So let me share with you a state of mind we will experience once we achieve spiritual awakening. This was written by one of great Buddhist masters. Okay, Bita, could you read it?
Okay, sure. Then the swirling eddies of reality will be transformed just as they are into a vast sea of light. And though weeping, we will not be gloomy. Though laughing, not frivolous. Though wealthy, not proud. Though poor, not servile. Though loved, not intemperate. Though hated, not twisted. Enabled to weather lives of resentment and cursing with thanksgiving and exaltation, we will be free.
Thank you. Yeah, we will be free. We will experience liberation. This is another way of saying spiritual awakening, liberation. We are not free as we are. We are bound with many kinds of chains. we are tied up with chains. So we will be free. Yeah, we don't rely on external circumstances. So if we can be wealthy, that's good, but we won't be too proud. But when people become wealthy, I think people become really proud and a little bit arrogant. Am I biased? This is human nature. When we achieve something great, we become proud, and it's okay. But middle way, we should take the middle way, but people go a little too far all the time. And then as a result, people suffer. When we achieve happiness, we become too elated. And then when the happiness will fade away, we get depressed. We are always swayed by our external circumstances. Everything is impermanent. Things keep changing. We cannot stay at the same point for too long. And even if we are poor, our mind is free. We're not servile. And as I explained, once we have spiritual awakening, we can change our mind. Our suffering or bad misfortune will turn to the source of joy. This is really mysterious kind of happiness. So we will enjoy good time and bad times, adversity and good time. Either way, we will enjoy our lives to the fullest. Like a good surfer will enjoy high waves. A bad surfer cannot enjoy high waves. They suffer when the peaks are so high. But we become good swimmer or surfer, low wave or high wave, any waves are welcome. At the end of purpose-driven lab, we read this. Could you read it, Bita?
Okay. If we avoid struggling with hard questions about why we live or what we are to do with our lives, and instead drift carelessly along at the mercy of external phenomena, it may not matter much whether we live to be 80 or die now.
Thank you. Yeah, kind of might sound a little bit extreme. Yeah, as I explained at the beginning, we can lead our lives carelessly along at the mercy of external phenomena without thinking or struggling hard about the question why we live. We can enjoy the pleasure of our desire, but if that's all, the question always comes up. What's the point of it all? Because good times will not last forever, and we have to continue kind of same routine again and again. This is human life, and eventually, question will always come up. What's the meaning of life? So, yeah, I have to move on to next lab. So please, come back to our Dharma talk again and again. We will understand steadily and slowly. So happiness lab. Usually it's on Saturday, and this time we played Japanese pop music. I wanted to promote one Japanese popular song, which is my favorite, and the lyrics really resonated with me because the content is very close to the teaching of Buddha. So without further ado, let's listen to the song and I give a little bit explanation. Just a moment. Before I play, let me explain Buddha's analogy first. Buddha said human life is like a journey. We are all travelers. When we were born, our journey started. And we have been continuing this journey from yesterday to today, from today to tomorrow. This is our journey and it will continue. And it's a one-way journey. We cannot go back. And we cannot stay at one place for too long. We keep moving forward and forward. And where are we headed? And this is the purpose of life we were talking about. But yeah, we are moving and we have sunny days and stormy days, or we have steep slope or downhill. Sometimes we experience good time. Sometimes we have to be confronted with a lot of hardships back to back. That's life. But we believe someday our day will come, and with this hope, we are clinging to this hope, we are climbing the steep hill day after day. So as we grow older or maturer, such lyrics start resonating with us because we experience that. And then, okay, that's the introduction. Let's listen to it.
Like a dream, I see day after day. This long, narrow road I've been walking. If I turn looking back, I can see far away the old time that I loved long ago.
The singer is the son of Diana Ross, I heard. And I hope you liked it. At the beginning, the lyric said, the very beginning, like a dream, life is like a dream. There were countless bygone days, but they are all gone. All we have is our memory. We have experienced many kinds of happiness or unhappiness, but now they are just memory. And yeah, sweet memory is good. Drama is bad. Sweet memory, yeah, I can say it makes us happy right now, but actually, when we are not happy right now, even sweet memories cannot make us happy, cannot change our state of mind right now. Instead, sweet memory makes us feel worse because we compare ourselves, the present self, with the happier me in the past. Oh, I used to be happier, but right now I'm miserable. No, in this way, even happy memory cannot make us happy. So once it's gone, it's like dream. And this is one point. Yeah, I have to, yeah. So this explanation is not enough at all, but I wanted to understand this concept. Life is like a dream. We can have a lot of pleasure and fun, but once it's gone, once it's over, it's gone. But the waters of a river keep flowing. And at the end, the water current, gushing current flow out into the bay. In Buddhism, the goal of such a river is the ocean-filled, merit-filled ocean of Dharma. There's a big ocean of Buddha's wisdom. So achieving true happiness is like plunging into the vast ocean of Buddha's wisdom. Actually, this is how great masters of Buddhism explain true happiness. Once we plunge into a vast ocean, we will be surrounded by ocean water. That means we will achieve oneness with the water. That's the true happiness. Our human nature will not change, but by achieving oneness with Buddha's wisdom, we can experience lasting happiness through peace of mind and satisfaction. And Buddha's method is very unique. When we want to experience joy or pleasure, we try to maximize our happiness, our pleasure with the help of delicious food or music or great aroma or a comfortable couch. Those will improve our happiness. But Buddha's method is completely different. His method was find the cause of suffering and eliminate the cause of suffering. Then we will achieve true happiness. And this is written in the famous teaching of Four Noble Truths. Let me share it with you. There are four truths, four kinds of truth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number one, life is suffering. This is the reality of samsara. Samsara is this world when suffering is prevailing. I mean, yeah, life is suffering. This is Buddha's first statement after he achieved Buddha's enlightenment. Don't you think this is the reality? Uh, we don't want to believe in this, but if we closely look at our life, then we have to say, this is true. But don't worry, this is Buddha's diagnosis. He said this because he has solution. The doctor will tell us the name of our disease, and because he has the solution, he has treatment. And second truth is the cause of suffering. Yeah, we need to understand what's the cause. Then once the cause become clear, then we can deal with it. Any kind of disease has treatment if the cause becomes clear. Yeah. Even cancer, maybe in the future, most of the cancer will be curable. As of now, it's not curable. Most of them are not curable. But once medical scientists find the cause, even cancer will be curable. And our suffering too. This is curable. And once we can eliminate the cause of suffering, we will experience the third truth, the cessation of suffering. In other words, it's nirvana. And number four, the way to the cessation of suffering. How can we eliminate the cause of suffering? So this is the general outlook of Buddhism. This is everything of Buddhism. Okay. So Buddha categorized human suffering in many ways. And then once he explained three kinds of suffering. But today, time is kind of running out. So let me mention just one of them. We know many types of suffering. So I don't explain that. Today I focused a very unique type of suffering. This is, I think Buddhism is very unique because it emphasized this. Yeah, this is the three types of suffering, but I will explain number 3 today. Sankhara dukkha. Dukkha means dissatisfaction or suffering or unpleasant feeling. This is very unique. It means suffering of foreseeing future impermanence. You know, Buddha's statement, everything is impermanent. Tangible stuff and intangible stuff, everything is on the constant flux, and everything comes to an end. Nothing will last. Change is the only thing that will not change. So what we have, our possession, our happiness, our relationship, intangible stuff, all these are impermanent. So even though we are enjoying it, there comes the time when we have to lose it. It will leave us behind. And at that moment, human beings have to suffer. So even though we haven't experienced the exact impermanence yet, but just foreseeing it can create suffering. This is very deep type of suffering. But sometimes don't you feel this kind of sensation? Once in a while, we might experience a euphoric moment. We feel like we are in a paradise. We feel a very strong happiness. At that moment, we sense our mind, oh, I'm so happy that I'm a little scared. A strong happiness can cause a little scary feeling. I think that's this kind of that's the shade of this suffering. We imagine and we can foresee this might not last very long. Yeah, so yeah, I have to come back to this again and again, but don't worry, this suffering is deep-seated, but there is a solution to this. Actually, this type of number 3 type of suffering is the root cause of human suffering. This is the root cause. In other words, Buddhist term, this is called dark mind. In Sanskrit, it's called avidya. A-V-I-D-Y-A, avidya. It's called dark mind. Once we can eliminate it, we will experience a spiritual awakening, the absolute happiness, which is the real purpose of life. Until that moment, we have many daily practices. I mentioned the act of giving in the topic of purpose-driven lab. Giving is one of the 6 types of good deed that Buddha encouraged us. So yeah, practice giving and yielding. This is very good. We will acquire more human-like mind. That's very important on our spiritual journey. And I want to explain more and more, but unfortunately, time is running out today. So I will stop my talk here.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Yuichi, for sharing the wisdom in the Buddha's teachings with all of us present here. And we're so glad to have people here. Please take good care. If you would like to support our cause, you can reach out to me or Yuichi on the meetup page. And yeah, take care. Hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye, everyone.